Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Corpus Christi officials are urging state lawmakers to fix a financial boundary that's left millions in potential hotel tax revenue underwater. Senate Bill 1250, filed by State Senator Chuy Hinojosa, Democrat McAllen, would allow the city to redraw the borders of its project finance zone. That project is a special taxing district created to fund renovations at the American Bank Center. More than half of the zone lies in Corpus Christi Bay, where no hotels exist and no hotel occupancy taxes can be collected. If the bill is approved, city officials estimate they could collect up to $200 million over the next 30 years from hotel tax revenue within the revised zone. That money would cover the estimated $100 million in improvements planned for the American Bank Center over that time period. Corpus Christi is one of 6 Texas cities authorized to create a PFZ. Those zones are designed to help municipalities finance large-scale public projects involving an arena or convention center without placing the burden on local taxpayers. The first case of measles in South Texas has been reported. Atascosa County, south of San Antonio, confirmed its first case of measles, according to health officials. The patient is an unvaccinated adult who may have exposed others to the virus while attending a gathering on April 13th at a Jewish synagogue just west of Poteet. County leaders said anyone there between 6:30 p.m. and midnight may have been exposed. Health officials are investigating whether this case is connected to the ongoing measles outbreak in West Texas. Nueces County Commissioners are expected to vote today on a partnership with Texas A&M University Corpus Christi that would allow researchers to install groundwater monitoring wells in several county parks. The wells will be placed at Labonte, Hazel Baysmore, and Bishop Parks. Each well would be about 2 inches in diameter and would be between 25 to 45 feet deep. Dr. Dorina Mergulet, a hydrogeologist at TAMU-CC, explained the wells would help scientists and county officials better understand how drought, flooding, and pollution affect groundwater, especially in rural areas. Because the county owns the parks, officials said the project would not require third-party approvals or taxpayer funding. Folks in Corpus Christi can discover a little more about the Coastal Bend's history this evening at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Joe Smikle talks with Sandra Love Sanchez, Five Rivers Council member of the Karankawa Tribe of Texas, about the people that are still here.
An historical forum panel is free and available to the public today at the University Center, Bayview Room at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. Texas A&M University Corpus Christi and the Historical Forum for We Are Still Here, the Karankawa Peoples, will be discussing the past and present of the Karankawa starting at 6 p.m. The panel will include 3 Five Rivers Council members of the Karankawa Tribe of Texas and Tim Sider, Assistant Professor of History at the University of Texas, Tyler. Sandra Love Sanchez of the Five Rivers Council members of the Karankawa Tribe of Texas talks about the process of redefining an incorrect history and finding a culture.
Unfortunately, I didn't grow up into the culture, and a lot of people in Texas, they have a similar story as me. And I'm speaking just for myself because I know my sisters have different stories. However, though, in school, though, like learning about the Native Americans or the natives in this area, they were very short as far as storytelling to us. Like, our teachers would just tell us, like, this is a tribe, and they're this, and they're that, and all of it was kind of, like, surface information, and some of it was even false, right? So having somebody like Tim kind of go down that rabbit hole and dig and put all these puzzle pieces together and go through so much literature.
Tim Sider, currently a PhD candidate at Southern Methodist University, will release a book, Persistent Peoples, which will present a more accurate narrative about the Karankawa.
He obviously has his peer review and scholar backup to be like, hey, I'm not lying. These are the findings, and it was really good to hear, like, hey, we're going to correct, the cannibal story, the different weird stories about, like, 8 foot tall, like, stuff like that.
Many places around the coastal bend have a spiritual significance to indigenous peoples.
Anywhere near rivers is very sacred because the rivers flow out to the Gulf, and so our peoples lived on the rivers. Victoria, wherever they're at, they got waters, creeks, rivers that are near them obviously that's where people's are at.
You can learn more about how things happened in the Coastal Bend, what we lost, and what we can reclaim this evening. The historical panel starts at 6 p.m. in the University Center Bayview Room, Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. This is Joe Smikle, KEDT News.
Tuesday was the beginning of early voting for the nation. Spencer Chihawk has your breakdown of early voting in South Texas as Election Day approaches next week.
Thank you, Rob. Taking a look at the results so far. 2 days of early voting in the books. Day number 3 underway. Make sure you go out and vote if you're able to. We'll begin by looking at B County. So far, 3% of eligible voters have voted. In Jim Wells County, 2%. Brooks County, 7%. In Victoria County, just 1%. In Refugio, 3%. San Patricio County has seen 2% of eligible voters vote. In Nueces County, 3%. Aransas County, 0.4%. In Calhoun County, 3%. Kennedy County, 10%. Hidalgo County, 0.5%. And in Cameron County, 1% of voters so far have. There are a couple of counties that have yet to release their results from Wednesday. That is Willacy County and Live Oak County. I'll be sure to have an update later on this afternoon, so stay tuned into your community-owned station, KADT and KVRT. This has been your election results update. I'm Spencer Chihawk.
Board members with the Starr County Memorial Hospital said they'll be hiring a consultant to address concerns over new overtime restrictions. The announcement was made during a Wednesday board meeting. Previously, several hospital nurses reached out to KRGV over the hospital's new overtime restrictions over concerns that it could affect medical care. The scheduling change started last month to avoid unnecessary overtime. The board said the consultant will help with scheduling and do a salary survey. On Wednesday, the board said it could take 30 days to complete the survey. Texas A&M Corpus Christi is inviting you to celebrate Communication and Media Month with them. Students and faculty have been celebrating with campus events all month long, and now they're inviting the community to join them at Alamo Drafthouse for a special film screening as festivities wrap up. KEDT's Emily Salazar has more.
Islander alumni know that Common Media Month is not complete without Dr. Bill Huey's Best Picture screening. Every year, the legendary Professor Emeritus presents a movie to the community for a night of cinema and fun discussion. This year, he will screen the 2024 Oscar winner for Best Animated Feature, Flow. The screening will take place tonight at Alamo Drafthouse, located off of Staples. Doors open at 6, with the event starting at 7 p.m. Admission is free, though guests are welcome to purchase their own food and drinks. Dr. Huey explained how the film is usually decided on.
You know, the initial idea was we'd pick one that got nominated but didn't get the Oscar, but should have. We've kind of veered off into picking a film that we all really like. And a couple of years now, we've also agreed with the Academy.
Dr. Huey and Media Studies professor Dr. Ethan Thompson explained what makes the film unique.
It's from Latvia, so probably your first opportunity for most of the people out there to see a film from Latvia in a movie theater and an Oscar winner to boot.
And not only that, I learned that the software that the animators used is free open source software, and they did a whole feature doing this.
As for what the movie's all about, well, Dr. Huey didn't want to give too much away.
I would describe it as the adventures of a very brave kitty cat.
For KEDT News, I'm Emily Salazar.
The FBI says Texans lost more than $1 billion to internet crimes last year. As the Texas Newsroom's Lucio Vasquez reports, that's a nearly 25% jump from the previous year.
The FBI says Texas was the second highest in the nation for both the number of reported internet crimes and total losses. More than 62,000 complaints related to crimes like phishing scams and identity theft came from the Lone Star State last year. However, Christina Garza with the FBI Houston field office says these numbers are only the tip of the iceberg.
The numbers that you're seeing, as high as they are just a fraction of what we believe is really going on, because this is simply those who have taken the time to report it to the FBI.
Overall, about 850,000 reports related to internet crime were filed nationally, with losses exceeding $16 billion. I'm Lucio Vasquez in Houston.
Texas Education Commissioner Mike Moratz says the 2023 A through F school ratings have finally been released, and the delay may have caused harm, as KERA's Bill Ziebel reports.
A group of Texas districts sued over the A through F grades in 2023, arguing a newly adopted testing standard might have unfairly led to lower-rated schools. But a court ordered the release of that data earlier this month. Education Commissioner Mike Morath says students may have paid a price for the delay.
We have a strong amount of evidence that the fact that this lawsuit has gone on for 2 years has actually caused reduced learning in math and reduced learning in reading.
The A through F results from 2023 were released this morning. Results from 2024 are also tied up in court. I'm Bill Ziebel in Dallas.
And in sports, the Texas A&M Corpus Christi beach volleyball team posted a pair of 3-0 sweeps on Wednesday to continue their journey through the 2025 Southland Conference Championships in the top bracket. The Islanders, 21-12 overall, took care of business with sweeping victories over number 7 McNeese and number 6 Southeastern on day 1 of the conference tournament. They will now play number 1 Boise State in today's winter bracket semifinal match at 2 p.m. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.